Welcome back to the Lengthy Lads podcast, where the fantastic foursome of Annoying Mouse, Average EAFC Player, Birty and Azza bring you another edition of EAFC 24 action. Today we're taking a deep dive as we spill the beans on our thrilling weekend league performances, the highs, the lows, the goals and the near misses. It's all on the table. And that's not all. We're also delving into the heart of the game, discussing our thoughts on the current content and gameplay. What's hot, what's not, and what's got us cheering or jeering. Find out as we navigate the ever-evolving world of EAFC 24. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, join us for another epic session of EAFC talk. Get ready for the excitement, the camaraderie, and a dose of football wisdom. It's time for kickoff, so let's get lengthy.
Yes, fellow FC24 enthusiasts. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to episode number 4 of your new-ish FC24 and football podcast with myself, Ryan, the average FIFA player, Annoying Mouse, Birty, aka Shane, and the newest member of our team, the main man himself. It's Azza23 Gaming, also known as Azza. Gents, always a pleasure to chew the fat with all of you regarding FC24 and football. I have a feeling today might get a little bit feisty. We've got two completely different sides of the coin here with regard to who's enjoying the game and who isn't. But first of all, how are we? How's life? What have you been up to? Mouse?
What have I been up to? Playing a bit of FIFA and pretty much playing pro clubs, actually, and playing Volta, which is something I never, ever thought I'd say in my life. But it's a very good way to level up your pro in club. So, yeah, that's pretty much been my life, to be honest.
Shane?
I think you passed me your lurgy on last episode, mate, because I've been a poorly boy.
Oh, yeah, through the microphone.
Yeah,
we should stop kissing, to be fair.
I'm on the mend, but yeah, I've been poorly, so not a lot. I've dabbed in and out of the game, but yeah, not too much.
And Azza?
I'm doing well, mate, doing well. Plodding along, grafting out work and grafting out EAFC as well.
You had a late one today, mate, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Me too. Who's at school until 6 o'clock on a school day? Ridiculous.
Usually me in detention.
Right. Okay. So we've all, as we did last episode, we've all got an upgrade pack ready to go. This one is an 80 plus rare gold player pack rather than a 2-player upgrade like we did last week. So lads, when you're ready, get it opened. Well, this is shite. So I have Reynaldo, not Ronaldo, Reynaldo from Athletic.
I've got the Spanish right mid, Issy Palazon, 82.
Nice. Mouse?
Arnold.
As
Christensen.
Not even Hey Arnold.
And that, listeners, avid listeners, obviously love our input, is why we don't open upgrade packs or 80 pluses, because they have been absolutely crap.
I tell you what, speak for yourself. I've had some good luck with them. I had João Pedro road to the knockouts yesterday, first one.
Try that.
I think I've opened 15, maybe 20, and I don't think I've had anything above an 82.
Oof.
So I did around 20 yesterday, and I had nothing over an 83 until I hit claws. But yeah.
Oh, Santa. You got Santa himself.
I always like one, but Marseille are struggling in that group, I think. So I don't know how many upgrades he'll get.
All right. So let's start it off with cups and objectives, gents. And who played champs this week? Because I didn't. I still haven't qualified. I haven't played enough. So what do you think about the cups and the objectives that we're getting? Who's played champs? What were your rewards like? It'd be good if I could speak. Az, let's start with you, mate.
I did indeed play champs. I did it rather stupidly by doing it after going out for a couple of drinks. I managed to get 11 wins. I don't know how. Just chucked on 71 depth after I started 1-4 and then just smothered my opponent. Rewards were really good. I do miss red picks though. It was really, really saddening not to have some red picks. But the Araujo, however you say his name, centre half for Barcelona, packing in was really nice, yeah. And I did also get a special Pedro as well, so can't really complain. Two decent earners there out of my champs picks.
Good. Shane, let's go with you, mate.
I did it. Yeah, it was the biggest chore I've ever done in my life. I actually gave up at 9-4 when I lost the penalty shootout because the circle was missing, and that tipped me over the edge. But you know what? The rewards were fucking class, to be fair. I got Road to the Final Acuna from the 85 pack. He was 100k. I got Leao from the Rare Player pack. He was 125k. I got Pedro from the Ultimate pack. He went for a bit. So I made around 250k. So it was kind of worth it, I suppose. But yeah, it was tough.
What was tough about it?
Just, it doesn't do anything I want it to do. Even when I'm winning, because 9-4, I could have probably got to 11, which is what I'd have gone to anyway. But just the ultimate, that weekend league is like the ultimate mode of this game, and you've got stuff like that on penalty shootouts that are broken, and it don't make sense. Like they've still not even addressed it. It's still happening.
The one thing that I don't really remember is the same amount of glitches at the start of the game last year. I remember flitting between new gen and old gen last year, mainly just to see which one I preferred. I don't remember the same amount of glitches, but we'll get into this a little bit later on because Mouse and I have had a completely different experience to you guys, Shane and Az about that. So, Mouse, what about you? Play champs?
I did indeed, and yeah, I got to 11. Actually, clutched it on the last game. It's the first time I've ever got above 9 on a first weekend league, so more than happy with that, to be honest. Rewards, it wasn't great. I had Team of the Week, Alderweireld, Oblak, and Szczesny were my picks.
Nice.
But to be honest, I would take those 3 all day long over a fucking red 79 rated card.
Yeah.
So I kind of, all right, the red picks, they look nice, but I can count on one hand how many red picks I used in my team last year. I can count on one hand. Yeah, and it was probably actually on one finger, which was Mo Salah. That was the only one I had.
Yeah.
So, for me, that's what I mean. So, but, for red picks, my luck's normally terrible with them. So them going, I'd rather have 3 fodder cards that I can do something with rather than them just sitting in my club. And to be fair, I put red picks in like player picks last year just because they don't serve any purpose, like really low rated. So, and then the packs I did get Dest. That was and a Bernardo Silva. That was pretty much it. But to be fair, I really like the gameplay. Yeah, it was hard at times, but it was me. It was annoying because I was in every game. Yeah, I could have won. I could have won the first 12, but I didn't because I didn't play well enough. All right, I can't defend on this game, but that's not through the lack of the game. That's through the lack of I don't know the fucking mechanics of defending properly. I can't sit there and go, the defending on this game is shit. It's not set up because people are going 20-0. You can't say defending shit if people are going 20-0. It just wouldn't happen. From my point of view is, I don't understand the mechanics of how the defending works. Yes, penalties is one thing that I don't understand because sometimes you absolutely lever someone and nothing happens, and then other times you think you've won the ball and you give away a penalty. So stuff like that I don't understand. But it was quite a nice experience. I was in every game and I could have won. It could have gone either way. There was multiple times I had extra time games, and it was enjoyable for me. So that's all I want from it, really.
Go on, Shane. You wanted to say something.
I've had people, because I've obviously posted on Twitter about it, and I've had people telling me that it's a skill issue and you've got to get better at certain things and stuff like that. And I personally don't feel like I'm any different this FIFA to last. Like I've smashed this cup out quickly. I'm 8-0 at the minute. Weekend league went pretty much how it would of last weekend on the last FIFA. My rivals, I'm getting my wins easy enough, but I'm not going up the divisions and stuff. But I don't seem to be any worse on the game. It's just the game itself that I don't like stuff that happens in it. That's just like a game you spend a lot of money on, and they expect you to spend more money on when you're in it. That's my issue with it. I don't feel like I'm worse at it or I need to get better at it. But it's just that's what it is for me.
I don't think it's skill necessarily. I think it's more mechanics, like of how defenders move. So like I'm playing with that Irene Paredes centre back, and she's only 69 like pace, but she's nice to have because she's good at defending. I'm not getting done over the top and stuff like that. I think you've got to have good defenders rather than us. I did kind of teeter on having Walker at centre back, but I don't think that's the right move because his defending is not high enough. I think you have to have a good defenders in this game. But like with the skill issue, people, I've seen you play, Shane. It's not like, I don't think it is a skill issue. I think it's this game's so much different that it's going to take a bit of getting used to. But like you said, I'm not going to preach and say the game's perfect. I do think there's issues with a lot of it, and like we're saying with the tackling and stuff like that. Yeah, there's certain things that are you can't defend. I don't want to stand here and defend EA because I'm not going to, because I think they're still scumbags. But yeah, I think it is just learning a new game. I think we've underestimated how different it is gameplay wise to the last game, and I think we've had two games that have been pretty similar in a row, and I think this one's, especially with the play styles coming in, it's making players react differently, which I don't think we're all quite up to speed with yet, to be honest.
Even with like qualifiers, like I thought the first lot of qualifiers were going to be an absolute graft, and I was like 5-0. I think I finished that 7-3, and then I did qualifiers the day after I finished champs and went 8-2 in that. So it's not like I'm struggling in that neither. I think I've moaned about a lot of things with this new game, and I don't think tackling is one of them, because I found on the last FIFA you'd tackle them and it'd bobble back to them and stuff like that. For me, it's just like the defenders never seem like they're always in the wrong position. They never seem to be in the right position and stuff. And there's nothing you can change in your player instructions that will amend that. Like the depth and stuff like that, similar to what it would have been. They just never seem to be in the right place, that I'm finding.
I think with the defending, that they've tried to make the game so that the AI anticipates things a little bit more, and then they seem to just completely over anticipate it. And I think that's what I'm finding a little bit with defending. But I'm completely different. I am really enjoying the gameplay. It might be because I'm still in Div 7, but I'm really enjoying it, and play like the friendly mode has been easy again because I'm sandbagging, but just I have found that the mechanics have been working for my playstyle. So the slower build up, the pass and move, that seems to be working a lot more for me than, like, say, for example, the last FIFA, when I would struggle to hit 14 wins, sometimes struggle to hit 11, because I don't particularly play in that way. Yes, I play with smaller, more agile players a lot of the time, rather than the big lads or ladies. But I've just felt like this game has suited me a little bit more. You're a bit quiet, mate, so I don't know whether you want to jump in here with how you're feeling.
I'd completely echo both sides about the good gameplay and also the bad gameplay. The one gripe I keep having is I almost feel like I'm playing on a field full of gravy. It almost feels like my players can't they just can't get going. And then when they do get going, they start running. But I've got a player like Chiesa, for example, who has a rapid playstyle plus, and I feel like he's one of my slowest players on the game. And it's almost as if I get the ball with him, I try to run, he'll take a unneeded long touch, kind of step back, adjust his positioning, and then start running. And on a game where those millisecond margins matter so much, it can be really frustrating for me as well, because I'm quite a fast-paced player. But almost as if, I've played pro clubs for years, and I've been the any for a long time in my pro clubs career. I almost feel sometimes like I'm controlling the Div 10 Ennies, where you're like 60 odd rated and it's really hard to turn and it's slow. And on there, I'm all right. I can accept it because I'm like, oh yeah, they're crap. But when it's like my 90 dribbling players, I get really, really angry. But again, it's a new game. The mechanics are completely different. it makes me think back to NBA 2K when they first added badges and how badly perceived it was by the community because they couldn't quite get it right immediately. So they're almost identical to the Playstyle Pluses where certain things will be boosted. And once they finally tuned it, it was perfect. But that first original outburst was one of the hardest learning curves in gaming. And I think that's just what I'm experiencing as well. I'm just experiencing newness that is not only new to us, but is new to EA themselves. And once they get it right, we'll get it right, and we'll all be one big happy family.
Just one thing is a little tip for people. If you want to, like with the play styles and stuff like that, yeah, you can use different players. The best thing I can advise is go into pro clubs, make a pro, because you can put on any play style you want. Right, go in there, play that, and just play with different play styles. Just put them on your player, and you'll see how the player changes and reacts. Like I put some different ones, and I've got the setup right on my pro now, and it's made a monstrous difference to how he plays. So if you do want to try out the play styles, because there's the power shot that, yeah, all right, it says it makes power shots a lot more accurate. It doesn't just do that; it then puts extra power on your standard normal shot. But people don't understand that, so it's worth going to play around with them, to be honest, inside clubs, because it's the only mode you can go in and actually play with different play styles on the same player, so you get an idea of what it actually physically does to the card.
100% back that as well, because like I said on the pod before, my first day on early access, a majority of it was on clubs, and ping pass is a lot like that. Powerful shot, you don't realise that every pass is a lot quicker and a lot more powerful, and sometimes that's what makes you lose the ball more frequently. If you're someone that would rather a slower pass, you might be worth taking that kind of player out of the team. So yeah, big learning curve for everyone.
Yeah.
And clubs is class either way.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Clubs is always great.
We'll get to that. Yeah, I think it's very interesting hearing everybody's point of view, and it's actually really nice to have four people here that have kind of differing opinions on what works for them and what doesn't work for them, and what is working within the game and what isn't working within the game. So what I'd really like to do is do a little bit of an EA Sports FC 24 compliment sandwich from everybody. Being a teacher, something that happens quite often. You start with something positive, you might go into a negative, and then you finish off with something positive again. So I'm wondering whether anyone's got a compliment sandwich that they can throw out. And if they want, I'll be nice. You can do it as an opposite of a compliment sandwich and have the problem, something nice, and then another problem if you like.
I'm surprised that Shane didn't just put in a fucking picture of that idiot sandwich from Gordon Ramsay. Is what I was half expecting from it. To be
Having my
honest.
sandwich is just like having a mustard sandwich or a fucking piccalilli sandwich or something. Some shit. Because I'm going to go with two negatives and one positive. And my one positive is that squad battles are 4 minutes. That is the positive for me of this game. The two negatives are just to choose two, to be honest. One, I'd have to say the lack of content, like SBCs, has just been abysmal. It's becoming a daily thing now. Today's 20 wins in Elite for a gold players pack's an absolute disgrace. The bottom layer of bread, I will have to go with the fact that you can't even take a penalty shootout on the game anymore because the circle's broke.
Tasty. Mouse, you got one?
Yeah, so I'll go the other way around. First one is playstyles. I think it's brought a massive new side to the game, and it's something new to learn, which is always a bonus that I don't want it to be stale. So I'd rather actually learn something new. The second middle part is lack of grinding players long term, which it fucking frustrates me. I got told that I was fucking entitled for this on Twitter the other day for me wanting something in the game. So just something to grind. Like, all right, yeah, we've got the squad foundation players, but put an extra 3 on them and make it 50 games. Actually give us juice cards that we can grind, because the issue is with the game. I'm back to how I was in FIFA 23, where I play it from Friday to Sunday, and then I don't really play it. That's my issue. Is it's my main game, and I play it 3 days a week. So it should be at least 5. I should be able to play it 5 days a week. Realistically, as a main game, I would have thought. Like with something like Fortnite, you can grind the season pass, and you'll all constantly earning XP. In this game, there isn't a benefit to playing more games unless you're we want to go to elite and you're a sweaty rat, then that's fair enough. But I don't want to do that. So yeah, that's my big one. And then the last one is clubs. I mean, it's a big old chunk of bread sitting on top there. I've never ever really played it before. I played Beer Pro back in the day, like when I tried it. But actually to get involved in clubs now, it's just opened up something completely different that I know I can then fill my time with that outside. So yeah, there you go. There's my sandwich.
Another tasty one.
It's fucking lovely.
Azza?
Well, you must have the same Subway order as me, Mouse, because it's a similar sandwich. Playstyles was definitely one of my compliments. I think it's a good addition to the game. It's something I've wanted for a while. Again, I've referred to it, but because I've had it in other games such as NBA, it's something that I've really wanted. We had it last year in clubs, but it wasn't as much of a core mechanic it is this year, and obviously it was only in one game mode. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that. My negative would probably be the tuning of play styles, and I think it's almost affecting the movement and even the logic of some passes sometimes that just make no logical sense, for example. So I think playstyles is a great plus, but I think one of the negatives is it just doesn't seem finely tuned just yet. But, they do have that somewhat patching thing, that live tuning feature in the game. So I'm sure throughout the year, we won't even really notice it as much, and they'll adjust as and when. And again, my other positive was going to be clubs. I've played clubs since it came out in 2009, 2008, I think it was. And it's almost always been the same game. Like, to the point where last couple of years you'd play Ultimate Team on Next Gen, for example, and then you would play clubs and you would think, I'm literally playing FIFA 21, old gen on a new gen. It would always feel the same, whereas this year it actually feels the same as Ultimate Team in a way. And we've had relegations taken away, which I wasn't a big fan of at first, but with the new qualifiers and the new penalty shootouts and stuff in clubs, it just adds a much more fun aspect to it. So I play with some clubs where we're like 7 of 8 of us, and we absolutely rinse each other a new one. So adding that penalty shootout feature into the game is just amazing, because it adds more banter into my friendship group almost as well, and obviously us guys as well. That I'm no doubt we're going to create some core memories on clubs this year. It's going to be fantastic. So yeah, I'll give them big props on the changes they've made to clubs. But adding FIFA points to clubs is a disgusting move, might I add. But
yeah,
we'll move on from that.
That is nuts. That is
I didn't notice that.
That's
very
so shit.
Is it because you can then get a what's the name? My headband that I've got on my
yeah, you can buy certain items. Like my mate had the Ultimate Edition, and I remember obviously it came out on a Friday, didn't it? And then we had football on that weekend, and I was like, "Oh, did you get anything in your points?" And he was like, "Oh, I just bought a couple of do-rags and stuff on pro clubs." And I was like, "I've never known anyone to spend the Ultimate Edition FIFA points on accessories as opposed to packs." It just felt crazy, but I mean, it is. I think they were in there last year, but they didn't have too much use in pro clubs.
It's just it's the same as buying a skin on Fortnite, isn't it?
It is
kind of same thing. Can you do that on COD? I literally don't play it, but I guess like skins and whatnot.
Yeah.
On COD or Apex.
It's not something new
like
in gaming, is it?
All these fucking shitty items that make absolutely no difference to your playstyle, but people just love it.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty similar, gents. To be fair, positive would be pro clubs, and actually how playstyles have impacted pro clubs. So I've been just throwing on different play styles. I mean, when Mouse and I have been playing with one of my mates, I've been chucking different play styles on and changing my pro up a little bit until I can find something that has been kind of working for me. The negative for me would be the packs that we're getting back and the rewards. So obviously today you will have seen that we had a gold players pack for winning 20 games in the elite div in rivals. That's absolutely scandalous. That is possibly the worst reward that I've ever seen on an EA title. I think it's absolutely dreadful. Little things like I know Shane, you said in our group chat the other day, they've removed two rare players pack from Icon SBCs for bronze and silver segments.
It's just like, why? Like, what?
Yeah.
There's no reason to do that other than to be dicks. No reason.
That type of thing. That's kind of pissed me off slightly. So
that has always been there. That has always been a thing.
Yeah.
Do you not remember they took them out? They took them out for one card last year, didn't they? They did.
Yeah.
They did this last year, and they trialed it with one of the others, or did they make them untradeable?
They put like a small election player.
And they switched it straight back because I think it was just the sheer uproar. So hopefully, let's hope they sling them back. But
so that's my negative. And my other positive is people might not agree with me here, but I don't think pace means as much on this game. And I really enjoy the fact that I can use an 89 rated Rodri with 59 pace, or whatever it is. I love it. He's playing as my DM. All he's doing is moving left and right. It's not made any difference at the moment to my game or to the game itself and to my team. And I'm really enjoying using him as a player. So even little things like Mouse has said, he's using Irene Paredes. I've been using Inigo Martinez from La Liga, and people like that who I've actually just really enjoyed because they're kind of big, brutish centre halves. And that for me has been one of the big positives of the game, making me basically just allowing me to use different players that I would normally like to use and couldn't use over the last 2 years because pace was so bloody important. I enjoyed that compliment sandwich. Look at us all giving EA a compliment at some point there. That's lovely. Even Shane, Mr. Monotronic himself, giving EA a compliment.
Thanks for making squad battles great again.
That's all right. You get your lad to play him anyway. One thing I was going to talk about, I obviously don't want to spend too long on this, but I kind of wanted to talk about silver and bronze players. Now, Shane's been smashing BPM, and he said to us earlier he's got 2,000 bronze players in his club. So other than getting a life,
there's someone 10,000 now. Oh, that's nothing.
Look at it. He's absolutely smashing it. But I just don't see the point in bronze and silver players at this very moment in time. We've got no real SBCs still, unless you want to do bronze to silver to gold upgrades. And don't get me wrong, I did that back in lockdown when I had loads of time. I was trying my best to try and get as many different players as possible through bronze, silver to gold upgrades. And when all bronzes were like 200 coins and whatnot. And it's fantastic using BPM to get like Japanese managers that I'm selling for 4.5k or French managers that go in 5k and whatnot. But the players themselves are infinitely unusable. You don't use them. Evolution started off really well, right? Archie Gray coming to an 84 from a 64 for me. Absolutely loved it. But other than those evolutions, what are you actually going to do with those bronze and silver players? So I believe they should have some sort of place in Ultimate Team. They need an actual reason to be there, to be used in the game rather than just used in the menus. You get the objective for bronze, using a bronze team and a silver team, and that gets you a rare players pack, right? That's 50 games you have to play to get 2 rare players pack, 25 in a bronze team and 25 with a silver team. So what do you guys think with regard to silver and bronze players? Should we have a game mode other than Silver Lounge? Should they bring in a tournament for bronze and silver players? What do you guys think with regard to that?
I'm not sure why Silver Lounge is gone. People were loving that. So I don't. Yeah. I mean, I personally, I did the first couple of weeks and then didn't play it, but people were loving it. I don't know why that's gone.
I don't think they serve a purpose. That's the issue. They don't serve a purpose. Like, we had that actual promo, didn't we, of the silver players and stuff like that. But the problem is, you've got nowhere to use them. If they'd have then gone, we're going to do we're going to do a silver weekend league for 10 games or something like that, then happy days. It's worth doing. But now I think there's no need for them, is there?
We need them. We need a different mode. We need another friendly mode. We need a tournament mode that kind of encourages us to build bronze and silver teams and enjoy that side of the game, and then give us something back for winning in those games or in those tournaments.
They do get you a rare player pack at the start if you smash out the 25 games.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So for that's 50 games for a rare players pack each. Yeah, you can do it with a friend and whatnot. That's just fucking nuts. It's just ridiculous. It's going to take you an hour to get 250k packs. Whereas if you're, smashing League SBCs in November, December time, in an hour, you can smash through them about 10 times and have twice the amount of players, 3 times the amount of players coming into your club. So for me, it's a frustrating thing that I think they need to address. Otherwise, there is literally no point in having these players.
Can I just point out as well that people were paying $7,000 for Torino bronzes in the week, and you couldn't even submit them into the thing. It was minimum silver.
To be fair, you made me $40,000 by putting that.
That's why we open bronze packs.
So.
Yeah,
that's why we open bronze packs.
Gameplay, lads.
Yeah,
we need a reason to play with them rather than just using them to sell in for menus.
We do need a reason to play with them, even if it's, like I said, everyone has got like ideas and suggestions and stuff. But how cool would it be if, even if they just like squad battles, we get a featured team and also a team of the week every week for squad battles? How cool would it be? Like, if you beat the featured team with a gold team, you get a little 2-player upgrade pack. If you beat the featured team in a week with an all-silver team, you get this pack. If you beat them with a bronze team on a certain difficulty, you get this player pack. There's just no incentive. And what's the biggest incentive in FIFA? Packs, rewards.
Packs and packs.
That's what everyone wants. So, I feel like I've brought up NBA so much today, but there's a game mode in there that I always wanted in FIFA, but unfortunately there's just way too many teams in football. But you'd have to play a team in the league, and if you got to a certain amount of skill points when you played that team, so you get 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, you'd get a pick of a player from the team, but like a special version of him. I'd love a game mode like that to come out or something, or we could go ahead and use those bronzes and silvers by using a lineup made from said team that you're trying to graph for. It's just, I don't do bronze pack method. In fact, on my latest YouTube video, I opened the player pack without realizing that it was a mixed electrum. And I seen the silver background where it shows the ratings. And I thought I packed an icon because it's been so long since I seen a silver card. I almost was like, what the fuck? I've got an icon because of the color. But they serve no purpose in my club. Marquee matchups every week, in they go, and then just keep getting them in the crappy electrum players, and I never use them. I build a Wales team every year, which is always bronzes and silvers, and I never play any games of it anyway. So I just use them just to look at sometimes.
Same with Leeds.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 3 goal players in the club. So what? Like, never going to use any of them. What's the point? So
exactly,
it's a frustrating one. Mouse, got any ideas?
Just bin them off. Like, I don't just bin them off. They don't serve any purpose. So, they've made it clear that they want us using higher rated squads. They brought it in with team of the week and said we're going to have none under 80. They want this whole game is we're all programmed to get into this game and build the highest rated squad humanly possible as quick as humanly possible. So, when that's the problem, like you said, yeah, all right, they're good for building coins stuff. It's another option of building your coin balance and stuff like that, and put them in SBCs or whatever else. But they don't serve any purpose, do they? I'd rather have marquee matchups or whatever, and just have it 75 for that first one and get a better reward out of it. I'd much rather that. Go back to how we used to have it. Have a 50k pack at the end and have the first segment at a 75 rated. Yeah, because that's at the moment. Silver and bronzes, that's the only thing they serve is marquee matchups for me.
It's not like it used to be. I remember when you used to be able to run a fucking silver team in weekend league and stuff.
Like
now you wouldn't dream of it now.
Those were the days.
We're 2 weeks in and my squad's now 87 and we're 2 weeks in. So, imagine trying to go in with a silver squad. It's just
them silver Brazilians back then.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah.
They were
the Brazilers.
What was that 5-star skill left back that there was? 5-star skill.
The one with the mohawk.
He was like 69 rated. He was an absolute beast. And then you'd have 74 rated Mike Conley 80.
The left winger. There was a left winger called Kevin. He was unreal.
Yeah.
Macon.
Unreal, man.
There were some great ones. They were so usable back then, though. But again, that was probably because they had more use because there wasn't so many cards on the game. They kind of, like you said, we make coins off of them via BPM, but the reason they go for so much because the supply is so little because they're not wanted anyways. How do we boost them up? And I don't know. Do we just give every player a minimum rating? Make every player gold or something? I don't know. It's weird.
No idea. It's just something EA need to come up with. Maybe they could come up with something fun and interesting.
Do what they're fucking paid to do.
And it's probably awful as the player as well. Like, oh yes, I'm on FIFA, and then you're looking at yourself, and I'm like, well, I'm never going to play with myself there, am I?
Oh,
On
That's what she
Ultimate
said.
Team at
Jesus.
least. And then you're also looking at, not to talk down on the women's game, but the quality is a lot less there. Yet we're seeing 89 rated, obviously women, and then it kind of think, oh, there's a guy that plays for Leeds, for example, who's considerably lower rating wise, yet his actual real life ability is probably a lot better. So how do we go ahead and make them more usable and more desirable in the same way that we've done for the higher end women cards? Obviously they've got their own silvers and bronzes as well, but maybe some form of universal way to make them more desirable and usable in the same way they've done for the women.
See, look at us. We should all work for EA. Imagine how good the fucking game would be. Although
Pioneers.
I don't know how I don't know how you lot are at coding, but I'd have to take an online course, I think.
Yeah.
It ruined my day today. That's how bad that is. It ruined my day. I'm just putting it there.
Right. Mouse.
Yeah.
You wanted to have a chat about the difference between last year and this year and where we are with regard to SBCs, objectives, etc., etc. So I'm going to leave you lot here with Mouse basically, I guess, trying to debunk what people are saying on Twitter.
Yeah, a little bit. So I wanted to have a look at, I've seen obviously the gameplay and stuff like that. I can't, it hasn't happened to myself, so I can't comment. I can only go on by what I've seen and stuff. But from a menu side and stuff like that, I feel like we've all got wrapped up in the back end of FIFA 23 and forgotten what the start of the game's like. So just for prime example, so FIFA 23, up until now, we only had 3 SBCs that got packs back. And this year we've had 2. We're only 1 short.
We didn't. I seen a post yesterday from someone. There was loads more.
There wasn't. I've been through the entire list. So we had a Haaland transfer, a Renato to PSG, and a 1 for the win. They were the 3 we had. We also had an early... So we had a couple of, we had 275. We had a newcomers challenge 1 and 2, which was 70 for 75 rated cards, which are nothing. We had an early access upgrade, which is 78 rated, and then two rares. That's it. That's what we've had. And this one we've had a premium gold pack and a prime electrum. Yeah, so there's not massive amounts of difference in the actual SBCs we're getting in. In this one, we've currently had 17 player SBCs already in the game, and we only had 12 last year. We're already 5 ahead at the same point. So we've had 5 more player SBCs so far. Objectives. We had a total of 3 players for objectives at the same time last year. We've had 14 so far. I know that's bloated by the squad foundations, but this is when you want them right at the start of the game.
But they ain't getting in anyone's team now.
No, they're not. No, that's what I mean. Yes, that's what I mean. I still don't agree with it because I think they need to be higher rated than what's name. But
they're bringing out icon SBCs with nothing to grind players unless you buy store packs. That's the logic behind it.
Yeah, and I don't. But I'm just trying to debunk the fact that we've got the same, if not more, content in this game than we did last year already. So from that point of view, it's, we can't stand there and say, oh, yeah, you aren't giving us anything like that. From the first promos, so 1 to watch, we had 3 SBCs from 1 to watch and 2 from Road to Knockouts. And we've already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 already from Road to Knockout in the 2 weeks. So, we're getting more player SBCs. Yes, I don't agree. I'm with you, Shane. I don't agree that we've not been given the ways to grind to get these cards to do the SBCs. There is ways, obviously, if you want to trade and whatever else. But, even like friendlies, we've only had 2 lots of friendlies. I think they missed the boat when they didn't do Road to Knockouts, stuff like that. But we've had 2 in this one, 2 in the last one. So we're actually, as a content-wise, we're actually in the same place as we were. So, a lot of people, like you said, there isn't anything to do. But I don't know what's causing that. Is it because we're all now way more involved in the community and we've lived it so long?
For me personally, I would have never done them foundations last year. I've literally done them because I've not had anything else to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have touched them last year.
But there wasn't anything to do last year. It was the same. It was less. This is what I mean. We've got more content this year than last year.
I think having the Ultimate Edition was I think we spoke about it last time. It seems a bit pointless because
they stick. So what they did. So obviously,
I feel like I shouldn't have done that because I'm like, it's like they're waiting for people who have the standard to catch up now.
I think what they did. So they've tried to alleviate what they did with the web app. So this year we got 2 days early access on the web app, right? So we had 2 days before the Ultimate dropped. The web app came live. Last year it was 6 days. We had the web app 6 days prior to the Ultimate launch. So, and then obviously it was only 3 days between Ultimate and full. This time it was a full 7 days. I think they've tried to bridge that gap of being on the web app by getting us into the game early. Hence why we've had all these squad foundations and shit like that, because they've placed more content inside playing the game, because for the Ultimate Edition, that's where your time was spent, because you know the other guys could still play. Well, not that you could do anything on the web app unless you were playing the game. But yeah, I think that plays a big part, the fact that we had 6 days of the web app last year and you could grind and you could do a lot with the web app. You know, I packed Vinicius last year and that's what made me actually buy the game.
Bear in mind, we had no welcome back packs.
Yeah, that's what I think. Why
they're not the best packs, but you could still. I've been lucky every year in them.
Yeah, this is why the game came out early. I think because there was nothing to do on the web app. That's why they brought the game forward, because they knew that we'd have fuck all to do. You imagine if we'd have had 6 days of that web app, we'd have all been crying. This is what I mean. But is it the sheer fact that because we're a lot more involved in the community now, that, you know, we've lived and breathed it for 6 months, that, you know, we're used to a lot of stuff? And is it just the fact that when we do start this game, the content just isn't there? You know, it's just not meant to be there. So, you know, I've even looked into store packs. So I know we're moaning about the store packs being in there now, and, you know, they're very heavy and stuff like that. But even last year, we still had nearly 2K FIFA point packs out at this point already. Yeah, we had Road to the Knockout Essentials pack, which was 1,800 FIFA points, which was 15 rare golds, one above 84. You know, so we did see the start of it last year, of these big packs coming in early. Not to I think the extent of it now is fucking mental. Like, there's way too.
I think we knew that. The back end of FIFA, you could tell how this game was going to go.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like with the amount of packs and stuff were coming in. But I think they've just, you know, they were in, you know, not to the same level they're in now, but they were in the game last year. But I think, you know, we do forget, you know, I didn't realise that pack was in the game in October last year. Didn't have a fucking clue until, you know, I've had a little research, just because I just wanted to know because, you know, I'm, like I said, you know, I alluded to earlier, I've only have 3 games on, you know, 3 days a week on the game, playing the game, because I don't feel there's enough to keep me on the game. So I just wanted to have a look at where we were at. And
I think it's quite, not for me personally or anyone I know that there's people out there. I think it's quite scary, to be honest, because it's easy to say don't buy them and don't do this and don't do that, but people fall into a trap. You could comfortably spend £100 on this game every week.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there.
I find that scary, because some people will fall into that trap and pay that.
I think it's just so easy, because if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, it is so easy just to click FIFA points, PayPal. Okay, it's 3 clicks, and that, you know, that is why
I didn't get anything in that one. Let me just try the next one.
That's why it's so. It's chasing losses. It's that gambling, isn't it? It's chasing your losses. You always say, like, on these gambling websites or wherever, you know, you're on Bet365, chasing your losses is never going to work. Like, you cannot do that. But yet you're still doing it on this game. I think for me, the store pack thing is so scary. The fact that they've got 10 different store packs out at the moment is fucking nuts. That's absolutely crazy. You know, having one out last year for 2,000 FIFA points that you're limited to 1 to, okay, what's 2,000 FIFA points? I don't know how much that is in real money, but, you know, having 10 out, if you open one of each one of them, you're looking at 200 quid. And you spent 100 quid on the game, and these are pixels on a screen. And people need to remember that these are pixels on a screen, and they are just pretty colours with virtual currency. And unfortunately, some people struggle with their willpower, and they find it really difficult in that sense to to stop themselves from buying these FIFA packs or these FC points. Sorry.
So easy to fall into. I mean, I've been there up until I bought my place. So up until I was 26, living at home, I was doing like £150, £200 a week
Wow.
on Ultimate Team, just out of boredom as well, more than anything. I was the ideal target for their huge social engineering scheme that they're running with this game. And then when I had a mortgage, I was like, well, I can't be doing this anymore.
Man.
So life become a lot more different. But a gamble as well, like you said, back then the gamble it wasn't worth it, but you would get rewarded because your packs were tradable back then. And some of these big packs now are untradeable. So even when you win, you're not really winning. Yeah, you've got a card that you can't even sell or make coins off of. You might get an amazing 91 or 90 walkout and think, oh, this is amazing. And then be like, well, hang on, I can't even use it in my team. And then you can't even go and sell it then to try and benefit your team. It's changed a lot in the last 2 years with these untradeable packs are what kind of scare me more as well, because they're just so easy to just let fly, man. They're horrible.
I think that follows the pattern of other games, though, doesn't it? The likes of Call of Duty, of Fortnite, everything like that. You buy that, and that's it. You know, that's tied to you for life. You're not, it's no one else can have it. So it's fine to follow that method. But I think the issue is we don't live like it's a completely different game. You know, like I said, you can grind those games and get XP all day long. You can't in this game. So yeah, all right. You could go and trade. You could trade your way up, like Shane opened one with coins today. You could do it that way. You could trade your way up and you could buy all these packs through coins. But they shouldn't, like I said, we've got similar amounts of content, but they're throwing these store packs in on top, which is always going to, after the people who can afford it, obviously. But, the people with weak will buckle and buy these fucking packs.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You're the 9 times out of 10, you're gonna lose. Like you're not gonna get a
they
card.
They know what they're doing, because that store pack gives you some like 80 odd players, rare golds, but then in the cup they're giving you 580 plus.
Yes,
someone not thinking like properly will just go, I'm just gonna open that pack then. I'll get a lot better for that.
100%.
Like if they can put that in the store, you can make the objectives harder or longer and give a just as good pack. And let you grind for it. That's my argument.
Oh, definitely. I agree. I feel that it should be. Like I always bang on about more gameplay and stuff like that, and that's where it should be. I agree totally. I don't. I'm not trying to defend their things. Their selling of FIFA points and stuff like that, FC points. But it's that's the bad side of the world we live in, and I think it's only going to get worse. We're going to see probably a £50 pack in this FIFA, and I wouldn't be surprised.
That would shock me.
What free? We're looking at what? It's 20 quid. It's about 22 quid in it for a 3K currently. I don't think we're far away. We had 500s last year.
You look at last FIFA as well. Like icons on this game. Icons should be something so rare, and then they were dishing them out in store packs last year.
Yeah,
it's like
it's mad, isn't it?
It just makes them like worthless.
I think the scary thing as well is, like we said, other games have microtransactions, but I can't think of another game where what you buy is immediately impacting how you play. In Call of Duty, for example, you're buying an operator skin, you're buying a gun skin, a gun blueprint. You're not buying something that's gonna considerably make you better if you pack an Mbappe compared to your Chiesa on the left wing, for example. I can't speak
2K, surely.
Pardon?
2K.
Oh, yeah, 2K is microtransactional hell.
So whether it's sports games, then, isn't it?
I said yesterday to someone, like I get it that they're a business. They're going to want to make money. Blah blah. They can put a store pack in there. They don't need to be so greedy as they are. Like today's like World Mental Health Day. This game and what they do can comfortably and probably has fucked up many people's mental health.
We've seen it.
We know. We've seen it firsthand.
Let's face it. So
it's dangerous. It is dangerous.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway is from FIFA 09, FIFA 10, FIFA 11, they wanted you to spend as much time on the game, grind the game as much as possible. FIFA 21, 22, 23, FC 24, they want you to spend as much money on the game rather than time. And that's a really sad truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, on a lighter note, I think we should just finish off the podcast over with Azza, who can go through how we've done on our predictions of this weekend's scores. And you can tell I'm feeling a little bit smug at the moment. Mainly because Leeds won. That's all I care about, really. But as
you've got every reason to feel smug, to be fair. So last week we did do a little predictor game with 4 Premier League games and, of course, the Leeds v Bristol Championship game where we all predicted the result, and based on whether or not we got the right winning team or the right result with the draw, and also correct scoreline and closest to the first goal scored that minute, we were able to accumulate some points. The scores are on the door. I've been a bit of a zombie today, but I'm 99% sure these scores are correct and accurate. In last place just for this week, we've got Mouse with 3 points. I think those draws hit you hard. You have quite a few draws in your predictions there, which is a bit of a shame.
Screwed, mate. Screwed.
And then we've got Shane coming in with 4.
Shane was 1 goal away from 4 correct results.
He was. Shane was so close. When I was going through the scoring, I was like, wow, like if he was on the Super 6, he would have been winning loads. And then always a bridesmaid, never the bride, myself in second place with 5 points. Managed to snag a bonus point with the minute predictor. The quickest goal in those games was the 15th minute in the Burnley versus Chelsea game, and I had the 18th, so I was 3 minutes off. But Ryan was actually 4 minutes off, so it was a close one there. And then first for this place is Ryan with 7 points, which seems huge compared to the rest of our points. So that is a massive points haul in your first week. So you do get the crown for this week, but we will be coming for you in upcoming weeks.
What you're saying is my ball knowledge is actually on point. So anyone that takes as gospel that stupid game that Mouse played last week where Shane absolutely smashed it and I seemed shit because didn't get one right, my current ball knowledge is great. If only I put a bet on. I didn't, but I really should have. Cheers, Az. I think it's where we're going to wrap it up now. We are 52 minutes into our podcast. We actually only really budgeted for like 30 minutes today, and we've flown over it again. This is what EA does to you. EA do to you, in fact. It's what the game does to you. Just keeps you going on and on and on. But fortunately for us, we're not spending money on this podcast site that we're using to record. Gents, always a pleasure. Absolutely always a pleasure. And play the outro.
Thank you for tuning in to the Lengthy Lads podcast. We hope you had a blast hearing our thoughts on the fantastic EAFC 24 and the footballing world. And if you share our passion for the beautiful game, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop us a 5-star rating and leave a review on your favourite podcast platform. Your support keeps us lengthy. And as we wrap up, whether you're scoring goals in the virtual world or cheering for your favourite football team, remember that football brings us all together in the most thrilling way. Until our next adventure, keep the passion alive and may your game always be lengthy.